Yeah, I think the first thing I want to say is that we're obviously all devastated that the season ended, and we feel. I feel like we have an incredible group. They've been incredible all year. So we're sad the season ended, but we're so proud of this group and what they've done and who they are as people, as competitors. So, I think that's the most important thing. And, very difficult game. Vermont's a very good opponent. We knew that coming in. They've got excellent players. They're well coached. They have a real clear idea of what their identity is. They make the game incredibly difficult for you on both sides of the ball. The way they defend, how they attack through kind of some of their direct play and flick-ons and a little combination play is difficult to deal with. I actually thought, for the most part, we really dealt with it well. And as that game settled down, I thought we got a hold of the game and we were able to keep the ball. It was difficult to break them down at times, and I did feel like we probably created enough chances and gotten to areas where, we could have gotten a goal in regulation. So it's one of those games where I think the two teams, and this is why we're in this round, a second round game, it's going to be a very close game. And unfortunately, we came out on the wrong side of that.
What was going through your mind when you saw both of those Vermont go-ahead goals there? Because you got up ahead of them there early.
Yeah, I think we got caught playing out, obviously, on the first goal. And, one of the things we didn't want to do was gift them something early with, playing out of the back. And so you saw us go a little bit more direct initially. And so that was a disappointing moment, but it's 1-1, and we felt like, okay, we were able to do the things that we talked about doing in terms of being able to possess the ball and getting behind them and create chances. So I felt like, okay, 1-1, we can. I wasn't concerned that we weren't going to be able to continue and get other chances and try to get the go-ahead goal. So. Yeah, and then obviously I believe in this group and our ability to come back if we're down. We certainly create enough chances to win these games that we're in. So yeah, I felt like we were going to get back into it and we were going to win it.
Going into this, you thought some extra rest would be helpful to your team. They're coming off a game just a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
You had some advantages there.
Yeah, we did, and I feel like it probably showed up a little bit in terms of as the game went on. They couldn't quite cover the ground and press us, so we did have a lot of the ball. They dropped a bit deeper, so I think what they did is they had to compensate for the fact that they were a little bit fatigued by sitting deeper, and it made it difficult for us to get in behind them. Behind the scenes, we had some stuff going on too with different guys with injuries, and so maybe we weren't at our best physically in a bunch of different departments too. And maybe that probably contributed a little bit to our sharpness at times.
What do you think kind of happened over these last couple of weeks? You guys were number one in the country not too long ago, and then the first or one game and done in the NCAA tournament. How do you explain, or what do you think happened over these last few weeks?
Well, I think a couple things happened. One, you're playing really high level competition, right? So if you look at the JMU game that we dropped, JMU's in the 16, right? They're a top team, and we knew that. So. And then this game, again, another top team. I think they were ranked 14th in the country at one point I saw. So they're a top 20 team. And those games exist on a knife's edge, right? And they can go either way. I would probably say some of the things that we had going on behind the scenes, just that may be just enough to push you the wrong direction on some of those moments in the game where we concede. Or maybe even some of those moments where we're getting into the final third and we're not quite sharp enough. And I think these things that we were dealing with, especially in a high level game against a really good team, that maybe is what took us down a little bit from our best.
What were your emotions like when the final whistle sounded?
Two things. I'm disappointed because I think we're good enough where we can keep going, and really, really sad for the seniors in particular. This incredible group of guys that put in so much work, and I felt like we were good enough where we could have kept going, and that in my mind they deserved more. They deserve to go another round, deserve to experience a run in the NCAA tournament with all the work they put in. I wanted that for them. I wanted it for this group because I think this group has so much to offer. So I was disappointed for them, but also so proud of the group and how far we've come. Because if you look one season ago, we had a losing record. And you look one season ago, we didn't make our conference tournament. And then you look a season ahead, and now all of a sudden we're number one in the country for rankings, which has some value. It's not our goals, but you see how we're able to play, how we're able to compete, the culture within the team, which is what is the foundation of our success. I think that's changed. I think we have come a long way in a really short period of time. And if I had to say, okay, what do I need? What do we need to focus on? I think we need to focus on that. And then now, okay, here's where we are. This is what has made us successful. Let that be the foundation of what we do moving forward, and then continue to get better.
And on that note, despite this finish, how do you hope this is a program building season?
Yeah, I think when we want to be back here again and again and again, we feel like we can, and so there's a lot of young players in this team, and if you look at the attacking group in particular, which has a lot more years to give. There were a lot of freshmen that were performing really well in this season, and there's a lot of potential in that group to get better. And so this needs to be the standard that we have, and I think we can continue to have this standard and improve upon it.
Is that just one of the things about this sport? It's so hard to win a national championship because it's such a physically demanding sport. It's such a long season. You don't want to peak too early. You want to try to peak at the right time. Is that just an example of how hard it is to accomplish the goals that you guys are trying to do?
I do. I think when you look at all these games and you look at how close the teams are and what has to go your way, and I've been very fortunate to have been to a Final Four and won a national championship, and gone pretty deep in different tournaments as an assistant coach and 216s, and some things have to go your way, and sometimes that's not on the field. Sometimes it's something has to go your way where you're playing with really healthy players who are peaking at the right time, and sometimes it doesn't work out that way for you. And unfortunately, in this year, where we were flying, and there was a lot of belief in the team, and then sometimes some things will go against you, whether it's injuries, whether whatever it is, can happen.
What do you want the players that are returning next year to take away from the end of this season and the season as a whole?
I think it's every year. Winning college soccer games is incredibly difficult, and that the work you put in is going to directly equate to your success. And it's the work you put in now. So obviously we're going to get some time off, and we're going to debrief with the team, and we're going to look at the ways that we can get better in all sorts of different ways. And then in the spring we got to come back and we got to work, and we have to pinpoint what it is that we need to be doing better, what they need to do better individually, and they need to take away that, okay, this is we once you've had a taste of being in these environments, NCAA tournament games, postseason play within your conference, you want to do it again and again and again. And there's nothing that's better. And so hopefully this gives them a taste for, okay, this is what we want. I mean, incredible crowd, amazing atmosphere. The table's set for a big story that we can create, but it's not going to happen this year now. So now we need to work towards what our goals are, which is to continue to pursue championships.
Way to end your career. Kind of take me through what happened in those final 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was a challenge. Everyone was throwing numbers forward, going for the win, and they happened to take advantage of it on a moment. And we had a lot of chances, could have gone either way, and they did a good job taking advantage of their chance. And they put the game away.
Tell us what was it like during that first few moments of the game, because you got out ahead of them like you've done a couple times before. Just what do you think the team ended up doing later on that kind of helped them get back in?
Yeah, we before the game we talked about starting with momentum off the beginning, which we did, and we got a goal. I thought we started the second half better as well. We had a good energy. We created a lot of chances in the second half. On another day, we put more of those chances away and we win the game. So it's one of those games. NCAA Tournament, anything can happen. Teams can beat teams that play better than them, and it's just, in this moment, it's just unfortunate.
Obviously, this is a very special year for this team. What are you going to remember most about this group and the season that you guys had?
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. We made history this year, and it's been a blessing coming to this program. I didn't really know what to expect coming from NC State, and I can't say any better things about the coaching staff, the players, everyone I've been around. I'll always remember how we treat each other off the field, and how everyone as humans was really good and kind and respectful, and I'll always remember that more than anything, is how you treat others, and this team's one of the best groups I've been around, so I'll always remember that.
Does the way this season end take away from getting to the lofty position of number one? I mean, this is not the way you want to finish out the season.
Yeah, we got to take it with a grain of salt, because we did make history for this program, so we're proud of that. Obviously, it didn't finish how we wanted to in the last 3 games, so but when we look back at it in a couple of years, that's my last game, so when I look back in a couple of years, I'll be proud of what we accomplished. I mean, the season we had was really incredible, and yeah, it's going to be good to reflect on in a couple of years. Right now, it kind of sucks, though.
How special has it been to be able to represent your hometown here?
Yeah, it's been awesome. So many people I know. I came up through Orlando City, so just being around my family, being able to come to games, my friends, it's been just an honor. I appreciate the coaches for giving me this opportunity, and I thank my teammates, because they're the ones that created the environment, and that's why we're developing into such a great program. So yeah, it's been a pleasure.
What are the biggest things you think that you can tell your teammates who are going to be back next year to bounce back from the end of this season?
Yeah, I think a big lesson for us is to reflect on how the season ended. We had a really good season, and then when it came to the tournament, we didn't do exactly what we wanted to do, so trying to manage that for next season. And obviously the spring is very important. The spring is when championships are won, so it's pretty difficult to train and play at the level we want to in the spring, so I know the coaching staff is going to get the boys going, and we're going to have a great year next year. So it's going to be awesome to watch as an alumni now, so I'm pretty excited for that as well.
Thank you.